what's up, guys? We just picked up this YFZ450. It's a 2006, and it's in pretty good shape for what it is. So what we're going to be working on today with this one is just a quick flip. It's going to be a pretty quick video. The piston rings might be a little bit loose. There's a little bit of smoking, but it runs really strong. The other thing was the starter wasn't working, but I just replaced the starter solenoid with one that I had laying around, and it starts up fine, so that's fixed. And then there's a slight fuel leak next to the petcock. It's just the fuel hose going from the petcock to the carburetor. So we're gonna swap that out and get that stuff all buttoned up, and then just put it back up for sale. So this one I got on a trade with another bike, so I don't know much about it other than it smokes a little bit and the starter wasn't working. So we're gonna tear it down, make sure everything's good, put it back together. Well, we're gonna replace the rings, put it back together, and then yeah, put it back up for sale. So I'm gonna get it unloaded on the trailer, or unloaded off the trailer and into the shop, and we'll get started. Okay, so here's the bike. Like I said, it's in pretty good shape. Whoever had it took good care of it. The only thing is, like I said, the smoking exhaust, and this exhaust tip is terrible. I think it sounds like garbage. I have one for a YZ450, but I'm not sure if it'll fit, so we'll try to see if we can mount it up. But yeah, everything's pretty clean on here. The fuel is leaking from right up here, just on the petcock. Just this fuel line is super loose. And then the starting issue was this guy right here. This guy here. It's just the starter solenoid. I stole it off of my other bike for now, and I just ordered one. It was like $9, so it should be in a couple days. But yeah, other than that, we just have to fix the smoking issue. So let me see if I can get it to smoke here on camera. So you can see there, it's definitely smoking, and it's probably just the rings a little bit loose, or whoever gapped them didn't put them in right, didn't clock them the right way or whatever. So we're just going to pull the head off and get the cylinder exposed, and if there is an issue with the cylinder, I do have another one, and I have tons of sets of rings. I think I have like 3 or 4, so should be fine. But yeah, we're going to start digging into that now. Alright, we got all the plastics off, so now we're going to start taking the top of the motor apart. We're just going to take off the breather hoses, the spark plug, and then just these 2 bolts, and that'll take the top off, and then you'll see the cams, and we'll have to take off the tensioner, and then unbolt everything and pull the top half off, and check it out, make sure everything looks okay. So that's what we're going to do now. We're just going to start digging into the motor. Okay, that's everything taken apart. Everything is off of the head, so we can pull it up off of the bottom half of the case now. So we're gonna get it apart, put it up on the bench, take a look at the cylinder, and see what we got. So I'm gonna separate the head from the cylinder first. And then I'm going to take the cylinder out here. So I'm going to take out the cam chain guide, set that aside there, and then the gasket, which looks like crap. I think that's probably why, yeah, there's water inside the sides of the jackets and stuff here. It's a nice copper gasket, but yeah, it's definitely looks a little blown out, so we're going to replace that. That might be why it was smoking a little bit. We'll see a little bit more with the rings here when we take off the cylinder. Okay. So here's the inside of the cylinder. And it's a little gouged up in there, so we might need to replace that. That might be why it's smoking a little bit. It's definitely a groove there. I can feel it with my finger here. So. There's definitely a ton of oil in the cylinder on top of the piston. It's super wet. So it looks like there was a lot of oil getting past the rings onto into the cylinder here. You can see how shiny that is. It shouldn't be that wet. And that was just from riding it off the trailer over to here. So I'll go ahead and replace the rings. The piston itself looks good. It's not scoring on the side. It looks pretty clean. So yeah, I'll just swap the rings out, and then I'm going to take a closer look at that cylinder head. Alright, here's everything up on the bench. So the head itself looks great. I don't see any issues with this. Everything looks good. The valves look alright, just needs to be cleaned up a little bit. So that's good news. The only thing here, I'm like 100% sure why it was smoking is right here. You can see it's chunked out. I don't know how that happened. I got to take the piston off and take a look at the wrist pin and make sure everything's good there. But yeah, so I think the oil was just getting past the rings at the top of the stroke here and then just causing it to smoke. Also, at some point somebody had ran water in here. You can see inside the jackets it's just rusted. That's a typical sign of not putting coolant and only running water, and yeah, I just corroded a bunch of stuff. So this cylinder is pretty much trash. I'm gonna have to order a new one. I was hoping that everything was gonna be good. It was just the rings not clocked correctly, but looks like it's the cylinder itself. So well, unfortunately, it looks like the cylinder is pretty much trash, so I think that's going to be it for this video. I have to order a new cylinder, and I'll probably just go ahead and get a new piston as well. Yeah, that's going to do it for this one, and hopefully we can get that in soon, and then we'll have part 2 and get this thing out the door. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. See you in the next one. Oh, I lied. I actually am going to probably finish this video today. I was digging through my parts bin and I actually found a cylinder here. So I had a leftover cylinder works cylinder from something different YFC project. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and replace it with this one. This one seems good. It doesn't have a lot of cross hatching, but it should be fine as long as we get new rings and stuff on that piston. So that's what we're gonna do now. I'm gonna set some new rings on there and just pretty much get all this stuff back together, and we should be good to go. So I'm gonna set you up on the tripod and then we'll get working on that. So we got our new rings on the piston. Now we're just gonna put the rest of it back together. It should be pretty straightforward. We're just gonna do the cylinder, the head, and then hook up all the hoses and put some fuel in here and get this thing started. All right, so as you saw, we just got everything buttoned up. Bike is all back together 100%, so I think it's time to try to start it up and make sure everything works how it should. So let's do that now, see what it sounds like. All right, sounds good. There is no smoking coming out of the exhaust again, so I think we're all set. That new cylinder worked great. Yeah, so bike is back together and ready to sell. So it's up on Marketplace again, as always. So if you're in the Springs area, you should see it up there. I have it up for $3,800 right now, which is a pretty fair price. I know it's end of season, but yeah, I've already had quite a few people messaging me about it. So yeah, bike's ready to go, and that's gonna do it for this video. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.